I chose to work with Renato because there was so much heaviness in my life at the time when him and I had met, and there were so many things I didn't understand, so many blockages that I felt like I had, and every single day I was waking up just reliving the same stressful, anxiety-inducing feelings, you know? And I'm a big believer. I mean, I'm the first one to tell you, like, no, I can do it myself. You know, I'm a bit stubborn in that sense, but really, I had realized, no, maybe I can't do this myself, or the amount of growth that could happen in my life and the amount of insights that could happen in my life could be, accelerated by 10, 20 if I work with somebody like Renato. Um, yeah. Biggest obstacles back then. So when I first started working with Renato, one of the biggest things that I was going through was constantly comparing myself to other people, comparing myself to my ex, and also just really trying to understand some deeply rooted trauma um, that happened in my life, that I could kind of brought with me into adulthood, but that really started from a very young age. And I remember actually the first call that I did with Renato, I think it was an hour long, but he managed to pick my brain enough and just like expose pretty much the heaviest things that were weighing on me that I didn't even realize what they were at the time. But it was such a cathartic experience, when you just reach that level of new understanding of like, holy shit, this is why I'm acting this way. This is why I feel this way, right? And he helped me realize that even from the first call. And then every call after that was just like more and more breaking insights, So yeah. What convinced me to work with Renato was how grounded he seemed and how not just grounded and determined as an individual, but he also has a caring side to him. And from the minute that him and I met, I mean, I immediately felt like I could tell him anything. And I felt like that trust was there, right? And sometimes I think sometimes people would perceive Renato as he has a bit of more of this like tough, dominant exterior, but also at the same time, um, there's something very grounding in that and something very trustworthy in that. And it also just really seemed like he knew exactly what he was talking about. I think he's a very wise being. I think he's been through a lot of situations and life experiences himself. And so I really just felt like that plus the connection that we had, it just felt like it was the right time and he was the right person to work on this stuff with. What was the process like? Unexpected, insightful, cathartic, and inspiring. Major takeaways, but I think one of the biggest ones of all time is that really there is no purpose in life, as in just existing and enjoying yourself is already more than enough. And anything else that you choose to do to fill the hours of your day, like that's great, that's beautiful, but you already are enough and you're already so worthy of love and lovable no matter what it is that you decide to do. That was like the biggest takeaway, you know? I think I really felt like, just to elaborate on that a bit more, I also just really felt so much pressure from people in my environment, pressure to perform, to prove myself either to my family, to my ex-partner, to anybody else that I came in contact with, even to myself, and realizing that, hey, like there's nothing I need to prove anything. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. Just the fact that I'm here already alive and existing is like enough purpose in a sense. And anything now I also want to do, for the sake of curiosity, for the sake to see what is my own potential, for the sake of enjoying myself, having fun, like definitely go for it, And I think that already lifted so much of the heaviness off of me that I was experiencing. So yeah. Say like Renato is like someone that really like lifelong, because I think there's moments when you really need extra guidance, or you need like a that mirror to go back and forth with, right? And somebody to help you work through things. And then other moments when you experience clarity when it's not so much. But there's always those moments, like it's the ebb and flow of like when you become a bit confused and unclear. Like I mean, throughout my life, like I would 100% say, like always, I would choose to work with Renato. He would be like my go-to person to work through these things, you know. I would ask them why they haven't already said yes and what is holding them back from doing so. That's like actually, that would be my answer in the form of a question, you know, what are you waiting for? I think no matter what it is that you want to do in life, clearing yourself from blockages, from this heaviness, because we all have these blockages and heavy feelings that come from time to time, right? Like it just makes you so much more present, and it makes you enjoy what you're doing so much more. And it also makes you more focused. It makes you more committed. And who wouldn't want to have those things every single day when they wake up, you know, to do this thing that we call life? So I would say yes, if you feel like you have certain blockages and things that you need to overcome and you're consider working with Renato, like I would say just do it. It's like there's nothing really to think about in that sense, you know. He's such a professional, and he has so much experience and so much wisdom to offer. So, and he's like the best listener, you know. He's never a person that would tell you what to do. He never tells you actually what to do. He really helps extract those answers from within you. So yeah. So, ciao, ciao.